My name is Makayla Mitchell, and this is my writing workshop action project for TLED 701. Like I said before, my name is Makayla Mitchell. I am an administrative and office assistant in the Student Support Services office at Southwest Virginia Community College. I am taking on new leadership roles with tutor trainings and this workshop, and I'm very excited to continue to gain leadership experience from this action project. As we started the discussions for our action projects in this course, I was asked to take on a project at work to assist in the need of many students who have been struggling with their writing skills in the essay-based courses. And English is the primary focus for this writing workshop because I was specifically contacted by many of the English professors who had students that were requesting tutoring for their courses, and it was around the same time that the first essays were being submitted, so students were receiving feedback. And it was just the perfect opportunity for me to step up and lead, as our newest tutors have just started in September, and I've been able to train some of them as we go about this project and give them the resources that I use and that I have as well. As I stated before, the timing of this action project really worked out, and I've gotten the ball rolling on implementing this writing workshop weekly, both in person and offering it virtually on Zoom. We've only missed a week so far because our area was really affected by Hurricane Helene, and the college was closed for about a week to recover power and allow students and employees to recover, but some students and employees have only just now been able to regain power and Wi-Fi and many of the necessities that they need to go on. So the startup of this workshop was paused for about a week, but we've started it back up, and I just know that many students are struggling with the transition from high school to college, so this supplemental time can benefit them in building the skills that they need for their college classes. I have split my logic model into 3 different slides, and to start off with my inputs, we are housed in the Student Support Services office at Southwest. I'm in collaboration with all English, history, and psychology professors, as well as the tutorial coordinator in my office, myself, and 3 other peer tutors. The skilled trainers that we have are myself and the tutorial coordinator, Beth Gianotto. We need classroom availability for training sessions and workshops. We have access to relevant educational materials and resources, all materials that I have made in-house for our writing lab that we also have. We need to use Zoom for trainings and to host the workshop, so that's our virtual option. And to do that, we use college laptops and computers to launch those programs. And we also utilize Microsoft Word, Adobe Acrobat, and the office provides flash drives just to house like the relevant educational materials that I mentioned before for training and tutoring use. My outputs, we have 4 peer tutors, including myself, participating in training and assisting other students in the writing workshops. Our writing workshops are held weekly as long as the college is open, both in person and online. I've only heard back from about 6 out of 20 instructors that have corresponded with me through email about the workshops, but that doesn't mean that they haven't relayed that information onto their students. As of now, I am also visiting college classrooms by invitation of the professor to make students aware of these writing workshops and to give them information that's relevant to citations, formatting, and just encouraging students to come and participate in this writing workshop so that they have access to all of these resources and that we can help them directly. For the second slide of my logic model, I have listed the activities and outcomes that I'm using. So the activities are training for new peer tutors and giving them access to important resources like the educational materials that I've made for the writing lab and to use for these writing workshops and in tutoring sessions. We also have the Zoom and in-person writing workshops held weekly every Wednesday during the fall 24 semester. We might extend that into spring 25 depending on student need. Study hall hours for tutors if there are no students that attend our writing workshops, which has happened for the past couple of weeks, but it also gives the peer tutors time to work on their own homework and to get in some working hours and just be prepared, and if they have questions for tutoring, I'm there to help them. For outcomes, we have the accessible virtual and in-person workshops for students struggling with their writing skills. I'm hoping to build confidence and increase confidence and job readiness in our peer tutors. stronger professional networking for our peer tutors and making connections with professors. Student participation has lacked thus far, like I mentioned, and so has instructor communication, but that's building as I'm visiting with different classrooms and the different courses, and enhanced collaboration between our staff and those instructors who have responded and forwarded information onto their students. So that's where it comes in, where I am visiting their classes and making sure students are aware of these writing workshops. As for my third slide for my logic model, I have listed the impact and goals and the external influences and outside factors. My formatting kind of messed up on this slide, but as for my impact and goals, I really look for long-term improvement in the confidence of our new peer tutors. And peer tutors are receiving more training and extra resources that they can use and share with students when they work on one-on-one or in groups with their students for tutoring sessions. And there's a higher level of participation between program participants in student support services and fostering a community in the new peer tutors where they can lean on each other and become leaders themselves. And a strengthened relationship between professors, students, and the peer tutors, and increased skills for both peer tutors and the students that are participating. Some of the external influences and factors are that some professors may not open our emails, and they don't know who we are in student support services if they are on campus or don't know us individually. And some professors are just not communicating that they forwarded information onto their students to let us know that their students do know about these writing workshops. And student support services doesn't have access to the class rosters, so we can't contact those students ourselves, so we just rely on professor cooperation. And I have been in contact with the professors who have responded to my emails, and I am actively visiting classes now to talk about the writing workshop and encouraging students to attend. This slide just details the invitation that I send out to professors to include for their students on email or on Canvas, so they can just copy and paste into their email or onto Canvas to let students know how they can join our workshops every week. My goals for this action project are to give students a supplemental instruction time and a space where they can ask questions about their essays, formatting, citations, and giving them a space where they are comfortable enough to ask those questions and get help, and training the newest round of tutors to help themselves and help their peers become successful in their college courses, and sharing the important resources necessary to that success. Hope to see growth in student confidence, especially regarding their writing skills, and encouraging student leadership by training the peer tutors on how to lead their own tutoring sessions and workshops, and impacting and fostering student success, as well as the success of our student-centered programs on campus. As for what I need from my audience, I just ask for constructive feedback and tips to increase student engagement. Students reach out initially expressing a dire need for help, but then they don't show up for the workshop, one-on-one tutoring, or ever reach back out. And I'm looking for feedback on how to approach instructors who have not shown any interest in sharing this resource with students, and for well wishes for success and a positive impact on myself, my peer tutors, and the students that we reach. This project is so important to me as a future teacher leader because I'm building my skills and stepping into leadership roles, and I also hope to inspire some leadership skills into the peer tutors that I'm working with, and that they can step into more student leadership roles. And I have also learned from my annotated bibliography different ways to engage smaller groups and working with students with different scaffolding techniques that might be useful depending on the students that participate and their learning styles. And I found that in SIDKey 2019, many students who need tutoring for writing skills, they face different teaching styles than what they're used to in high school, and they just might need clarification for their assignment details and the expectations that their professors have for them. And the sources that I've found and will continue to use will be very helpful as I continue this workshop and working with students individually and in groups. And the benefit of using the online and in-person options for this workshop were also heavily discussed in one of my sources, and that was Jensen 2016. And I have found that students that do reach out to their professors about getting assistance for writing skills prefer the Zoom method, where they have the possibility of joining from anywhere. Plus, many of the classes offered at Southwest are hybrid classes, so they're offered both in person and online, and students just like having that option of how to participate. And my next slides will be my reference page. I've had to split my slides again just to fit all of my sources on here, but this is just the first slide with the first half of my references that I've used for my action project. This is my second slide of my references just to finish it out on the different sources that I have used for this. My formatting did get messed up here a little bit and the font color is a little bit different, but this is just a continuation of my sources. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen about my action project, and please let me know if you have any questions or concerns or just any feedback or suggestions that you have for me. My email is listed on the screen, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you again.